welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm memory hunt, the czar of the playbook, joined here by our senior draft analyst, Chris James. And now that the 2014 NFL Draft is complete, let's take a look back and hand out some draft grades. We're going to look at the Jacksonville Jaguars and take a look at their draft from the first round all the way down to round 7 to see how well the Jags did this past weekend. The Jags had a healthy 9 selections in the NFL draft, looking to make a young up-and-coming team a lot better. When you look at the draft picks, 4 of the players played in the Senior Bowl, 3 of which were coached by Gus Bradley and Aaron Coven out of Oklahoma, Telvin Smith out of Florida State, and Chris Smith, an outstanding pass rusher out of Arkansas, while Brandon Linder out of Miami was on the opposing squad. And what I like most about the Jaguars draft was how they matched need with great talents. They nabbed 2 of the top wideouts for their young quarterback in Blake Bortles and Marquise Lee out of USC and Allen Robinson out of Penn State. Lee and Robinson can both be best classified as just straight football players that are also dangerous after the catch. Running back Storm Johnson was an outright steal. He was my second-rated running back prospect in this draft class because of his ability to do everything, run with balance, display very good vision and footwork with the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. His game reminds me a lot of the former New York Giant great Rodney Hampton. Defensively, I'm a big fan of the Aaron Coven selection. They basically get to redshirt a guy that has long arms and ball skills, who was a top cornerback prospect prior to being injured in the Senior Bowl. And Telvin Smith plays bigger than his size and could play all 3 linebacker positions while also excelling in coverage. What I question about the Jaguars draft was the Blake Bortles selection at number 3. In my honest opinion, Teddy Bridgewater and Johnny Manziel were better first-round options, and I view Bortles as a decent prospect with good athleticism that doesn't particularly see the field well enough to be quote-unquote a first-round QB. I will say this, though, his mobility does give him a chance to succeed, and I think it will be best for him and the Jaguars to start him as a rookie. You don't get better by sitting on the bench, and when you're a young quarterback like Bortles that came out early, you have the athleticism on your side while the game will begin to slow down for you with each and every rep, each and every game. And although I don't like the pick at 3, in my honest opinion, he does give the Jags the best chance to win early, and it's best for him to take those learning lumps right now in 2014. Terrence Cobb from the Cumberlands is a very talented back coming out of an option offense, but don't let that deter you. He possesses all of the necessary traits to be successful: power, balance, vision, and acceleration. This was a nice pickup for the Jags. Tyler Shatley out of Clemson was a very good run blocker for the Tigers throughout the course of his career, and Clemson is one of those football teams that ran weak side a lot, which means they ran plenty behind the 6'3", 300-pound Shatley to much success. Another Senior Bowl participant who was injured during the week was Marcel Jensen out of Fresno State, who's a solid inline player that'll do a fine job in heavy sets. He's also not too shabby in the route running department. Gus Bradley got an up-close and personal look at Cal's defensive tackle DeAndre Coleman in Mobile. At 6'5", 315 pounds, he plays with great length and leverage while able to hold his own at the point of attack. Not to sound like a broken record, but another Senior Bowl player here in Craig Lawson out of LSU, who was much better in 2012 with Eric Reed back there with him than last season with a boatload of young players. Lawson is a strong safety with coverage skills that also excel on special teams. The fact that Rashard Reynolds out of Oregon State went undrafted is a true shocker to me. He consistently played above the rim for the Beavers while displaying great instincts and ball skills. He just adds yet another talented playmaker to Gus Bradley's defense. The Jags get an A for their draft, as well as they did with the undrafted free agents. It's almost like they had 2 excellent draft classes. Bottom line is that although I don't like the Bortles pick at 3, I do think he has enough talent to help them move in a positive direction away from what was there previous. And all in all, this was a great class for Jacksonville. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Jaguar fan forums for always showing football game plan support.